Hi, and thanks for watching another instructional video for CSCI 1300. In this video, we will talk about off-by-one errors while using and designing loops. So in this example, we have some kind of a banking problem where we have some starting balance, which is going to be set to $100. We're looking to add to this balance until we reach a target value, which should be twice the amount of the original. So target is 2 times the balance that we start with. And we're also going to keep track of a year to kind of figure out how long this process takes as we go through it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to print what we start with. We're then going to go into a loop as long as the balance is less than the target. We're going to update the year variable so that we increase it every time by 1. We're going to calculate some interest, and we're going to add that to the balance here when we say balance is equal to balance plus interest. I'm going to print the result as we do it in the loop so you can see and track what's happening. And then we're going to look at what it prints out after it's done executing the while loop. So let me go ahead and run the code and show you what I'm talking about. So we start with a balance of $100, which you can see here, and the year that we start with is 0. And then on this line, we actually go into our while loop, and we're printing out that we have changed the balance because we've calculated interest and added it into the balance. The balance becomes 200, which is exactly what we want from the target. And the year only took 1 iteration. So we only went through the loop 1 time, and the investment doubled after 1 year, which is great. That's exactly what we wanted. So one thing to note is what could happen if we change the conditions of the loop. So say we think we have to have it equal to target, right? Depending on what we're doing in the loop, this could change how many times we execute. We could do this 1 less or once more than we need to. And here, notice that we start with 100 and we start at year 0, but then we go to balance is 200 and the year is 1. But for some reason, we are saying it has to keep going, right? And the reason why is because target is equal to itself. And so we run 1 more time. The balance then becomes 400, and we actually go twice as long as we need to. So be very careful about how you set up your while loop condition. You want to check that whatever you're looking for will reach the target value in the cycle that you are working on. And also note that this could happen 1 less, exactly the right number of loops, or it could happen 1 more. I would highly suggest testing your values on paper. So you can kind of like say like, okay, so I start with initial balance equal to 0, then year is equal to 1, and actually initial balance is 100, year is 1, and that means that the balance becomes 200. So that means that I should stop the loop. So if I keep going, what happens if year is equal to 2 and the balance is still equal to 200 when this happens? Well, the loop will continue. Why? Because we are at the target threshold. If we say that it will run as long as the balance is less than or equal to the target, right? We hit that 200 amount, which is what we were looking for, but the loop will continue 1 more time because this will still be true, right? The balance is equal to target, so that means that the whole statement here for the while loop will actually execute 1 more time. So we want the balance to be continuously added to as long as we have not reached our terminating value. And that's why the equal sign here actually makes our loop go 1 more time than we actually need it to. That's all for off-by-one errors. Thanks, and happy coding.